Thrive Coalition.
Right on. Let's move along to the KUAM News Zoom room, where we just had the Attorney General on, giving his 2 cents about this the quarantine lawsuits that are happening, and that's kind of funny. We we caught his Instagram story. Coming from a huge win in his UFC debut, I know that he kind of cooled a little, chilled out in Vegas, but back on island, Trev 5-star Jones, UFC fighter. And Trev, did you know that you were going to be heading from center stage at the UFC to 14 days in the hole?
I sort of knew, but I got my test results. I got tested the day before I got on the airplane. So I expected today when I showed them my results that I get out a little early. But I did know they were doing the 14-day quarantine. I expected it to be done by the time I get back. I was gone for like 6 weeks, 7 weeks. So I expected it to be done, but it's still going on. I got tested at least like 3 times for the UFC, and I got tested the day before I got on the plane. And I got my results today, so I'm expecting to show that to them today, and hopefully I can get out early or something, because it's crazy, man.
What's it been like? You came in and I saw your Instagram story and there was like a long line. So take us through when you arrived and what you went through.
Also, don't cuss.
We want the PG version.
So yeah, we came in. They did the regular getting off the plane, the regular customs form. After you get past the customs people, they have all kinds of other coronavirus forms you have to fill out with little nurses there and things like that. Then after that, you come into the military where you transfer your bags to the military people, and then you sit down there in the side of the airport for about 2.5 hours, I believe. 2 hours. It depends on how many flights are coming in, how full the buses are, I guess. And then when they feel like they got everyone completed, then they go ahead and take you on the bus. Hot bus, by the way. They take you on the bus, and then they drive you to your hotel. And then when you get to the hotel, then again, you wait in a long line with everyone that was on the planes. And it really sucks. And you fill out more paperwork when you get to the front. When it's your turn, they give you a room and everything. Then they send you up to your room, and that's about it.
Man, I know.
Then they I've been here for about 2 days now, so they come up here and they check your temperature every day, and yeah, that's about it, man.
So what was it like going through the airport? I know Guam, when we do the fights in PI coming back, it's always you're going through customs. Everyone's like, hey, good fight, hey, good fight. So what was that like, getting the hey, good fight, but you still got to go in 14 days quarantine?
Yeah, it sucks. Yeah, they still had some people that know and remember the UFC a lot. And they were like, yeah, good fight, man. That always feels really good and motivating. But yeah, ever since I left, I was thinking about the 14-day quarantine. I was really not happy with it, especially coming off a big win, coming off the highs, to coming into 14-day quarantine is depressing, man. It's depressing. Yeah. I just came from smiling a lot. Now I'm frowning a lot.
Oh.
Well, you're getting some help, right? I saw that you got some care packages being delivered.
Yeah, I got some care packets, so I'll get through a couple of days. But there's still gonna be those days that are just like
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
We were actually supposed to have Roki on with you, but he just messaged us that he wasn't able to make it on. He's in a court hearing. He's one of the people, I guess, that has filed petitions regarding the quarantine, mandatory quarantine. Mm-hmm. And, one of the things that these attorneys have described the quarantine is basically being in prison, imprisoned and in jail. How would you describe, I guess, your whole experience and what it's like being in there?
Well, it is like doing in prison because everyone here knows they did nothing wrong. That's where it changes. When you're a criminal, you know you did something wrong. So at some point you have to come into acceptance. And people here didn't do anything wrong. And yes, it's a little nice prison cell. And yes, it has a little view, but it's still a prison cell because people didn't do anything wrong. And that's the difference. It's easy to be locked down in one room when you know you committed a crime and you deserve the treatment you're getting. But a lot of these people don't deserve the treatment, and not everyone has strong minds and strong mental games to get through things like this. And some people have families and jobs and a lot of things that makes this process hard for a lot of people. So yeah, it's really like a jail cell. It really is. You can't go out. You get food dropped to your door. By the time you go outside the door, like they ran off, like you're automatically sick. It's like it sucks. It's weird.
What were people saying when you guys were in line at the airport, heading to the facility? What were you overhearing?
They were just saying about the fight, or
about being quarantined.
oh man, I already had heard from a lot of people. It sucked, man. I had a couple people come home early. They went through the 14-day quarantine. Yeah, they were just saying it sucked. They were saying the best thing that happens here is you get things dropped to you. And yeah, that's probably the best thing that happened. I got some of my regular things dropped, but other than that, I'm still in here by myself. And 14 days is a long time. It's a long time. I can see 6 days, 5 days, but 14 days is crazy.
What? Who do you want to thank for dropping you stuff? I saw you got the PS4.
Yeah, I want to thank my brother. I want to thank my boy Nick Caceres, my homeboy RJ. And there's a lot of people that offer to drop me things. And hopefully I get out of here quicker and I don't have to use those things. But yeah, a lot of people on Guam showed me a lot of love, and they've been willing to drop me things and messaging me if I need anything. So that feels really good. When I get out, like I said, maybe we can have like a little barbecue or something, and get back into training after that.
Mm-hmm. What would be your response, though, Trev, to people who may say, well, you got to do this to keep the island safe from COVID? What would be your?
That's why I got it. That's why before I got on a plane, I went to get a test. That was my keeping the island safe. I took up on my own hands and my time, and before I got on a plane, I went to get a test, and I specifically scheduled it where it's very accurate because it's right before I got on the plane. It wasn't 4 days and I was still running around Las Vegas or whatever. It was right before I got on the plane. So I scheduled it, and they just sent me my results this morning when I woke up, and I'm negative. I got tested for the UFC 3 times throughout the whole process. Negative. So that was my keeping the island safe.
Okay. All right.
Right on, Trev.
Well, welcome home.
Yeah, welcome home, and we'll be watching your story.
Yes.
pretty entertaining, bro.
Thanks, bro. I'll try to keep it entertaining.
Yeah, no pressure. Take it easy, brother.
Take it easy.
Have a nice day, guys.
All
there
right.
you go. Trev 5-star Jones, UFC fighter. Fighting quarantine right now.
Gosh, I feel bad. I mean, I understand how we have to keep people safe here on Guam, make sure COVID doesn't come in. But, like you said, he took how many tests and all negative,
Yeah, I think it's becoming clear that so many people if you're a returning resident, you have the negative test, you have a place where you can adequately quarantine yourself. And we've just seen the policy change so many times. What was it Dr. Maglonia said? They follow the virus, right? So anytime there's a spike or anything like that, it just leads to this chain reaction with the quarantine protocols.
Right. And I mean, it went from you could test out at 5 days, and then now it's mandatory quarantine. And now we have the Physicians Advisory Group. We've been talking about it actually for a couple weeks now on early test out again at 7 days, with the caveat that you have to have this Sarah alert. And Sarah alert, if you've ever been listening to the show, we've been talking about Sarah alert even before PCOR 1. And they've been waiting for public health to get the ball rolling on the Sarah alert. And so if you are to test out at 7 days, it would be mandatory that you have the Sarah alert on your phone. So we don't know what the final decision is going to be on that. The ultimate decision, again, lies with the governor on what we do. So sorry, if you're coming into Guam, it's mandatory 14-day quarantine with or without even if you have a negative test.
Right. I think it was interesting what the Attorney General had said. Basically, he was like, hey, read the bulletins. A little harsh. 9:45.
But there are certain people that do get exceptions, so and that's
that's
really a big problem.
Really concerning. Really, really concerning. And I don't know. I'm gonna send some FOIAs because I was just researching the one most glaring exception that we talk about a lot, and I don't think it holds up. So hopefully we'll have more on that next week. 9:45. It is The Link on the Breeze 93.9, proudly brought to you by First Hawaiian Bank, Calvo Enterprises, IT&E, and the Thrive Coalition, where they presented that little sniblet, if you will, of the One Micronesia podcast, reminding you at the Thrive Coalition, it takes a village to raise healthy and drug-free youth. We're coming back